All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome back to week 3 of our Mailchimp training course. We're so delighted to have Marianne here with us today. I'm going to go through just our normal housekeeping stuff, and then I'm going to hand it over to Marianne for about 30 minutes or so, and she's going to talk to you about content planning, and you can ask her any questions. She's also in our Facebook group. So after today, if you have questions that come up, maybe you watch the recording and other questions come up, you could always put your questions in the Facebook group. So let's go ahead and get started. Today is February the 15th. This year is flying by already.
Where
We
did it
have,
go?
I know, right? We have today and then our last class next week. The Facebook group stays open, and I just want to let you know that I run these sessions every 6 to 8 weeks. So if the next time I run it, you want to join again, or if you want to join in on one of the classes, you're welcome to do that. You'll get notifications when we are planning to do a next or another session. Okay.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. And sometimes things change, like Mailchimp has changed a lot. So sometimes things change and you need just a refresher or kind of need to know how to do it in the new look and feel. As always, I mentioned this is our link. Just talked about the Facebook group. Training guides. So you got the training guide workbook 3, but you also got one from Marianne called the content planner. So let me just pop over and just explain that they have the same orange cover. So one is the contact table, tagging, segmentation, and creating campaigns using segmentation. And then if I just go to my next tab, the cover looks the same, and you can see it says week 3 content planning. And then this is like a workbook, okay, where you can fill it out and jot down notes. So that was inside the
Yes.
email.
Yeah.
Excellent. Perfect. So let me go back to Mailchimp and just recap after oh, that's week 1. Sorry, where are we? Yep. After Marianne does her wonderful presentation, we'll do a quick review of email campaign. I'll show you how to use those pre-built blocks that we didn't get into last week. And then I want to take you back into the contact table and make sure you understand how to view your list, how to sort the list, how to use the filter options, and how to open up a contact and review their content and make changes. Okay. And then I'm also going to explain to you the types of email subscribers or non-subscribers. I'm going to explain that because as you start to build your mailing list, it will grow and you may move up to different tiers where you have to pay more. And I just want to explain how you can either remove or archive individuals who are no longer want your email or who no longer are engaged with your email. Okay. How you can keep your numbers down so that you're getting the best analytics and you're getting the best reporting back. So I'll explain that. We'll make sure we talk about tags. I love tags and use them all the time. And then we'll talk about segmentation. Again, it's a way of filtering out specific niches within our database, okay, or people with specific interests within our database. So we're not sending to all 1,000, we're sending the XYZ promo to just the people who are interested in that promo. All right, so that's what we have ahead of us. And blue screen means I hand it over to Marianne. So Marianne, let me go ahead and share. Let me stop the share here. And then let me give you co-host. All right, Marianne, take it away.
Great. So I'm going to go ahead and start by sharing my screen, and then I'll tell you a little bit about me.
Just going to go get my plug.
Share. And down here to here. There we go. Okay. So hello, everyone. If you can do me a quick favor, because I haven't been part of the group here, and just in the chat session, let me know what your business is. So then just as we go through this, we can toss around some ideas, maybe for your business, or you can simply just stop and ask me questions, just put your hand up, just stop me, whatever. Let's just keep this very casual, conversational. But I'd love to know what each of you do. In the meantime, I'll give you just a little bit about me. I haven't been online much for quite a few months now. Probably about last year, this time, I started on a very strange journey that nobody ever expects, but I was diagnosed with breast cancer. But I am doing great and I'm ready to be back online, minus the hair that still hasn't come in yet. That's what I'm waiting for. But other than that, I am feeling awesome and it's great to be back in front of the camera, which I have not been for many, many, many months. So thank you, Christine, for having me here to do the session. So let's just jump right into newsletters. And I'm just going to check the chat to see who's what their business is in here. Thanks, Toby. Medical aesthetics, Botox. Oh, great. Awesome. Okay. And I don't see the others. So I'm going to start, but just as I said, let's keep this casual and let's talk about how this works for our business. Electromagnetic field. Oh, practitioner. Awesome. Distributor of Swiss Bionic Medical Devices. Cool. All right. So let's talk about newsletters. I always find this is one part of our business, especially this when we build a strategy for a business or a marketing plan, that we tend to not focus on. And why is that? I think it's because we don't know what to do, right? We're like, okay, yeah, I'll put a newsletter out every month. But then the month comes along and we don't do anything because it's like, I don't know what to write, or it's going to take me too long, or I've got other work to do. And it's so important because it is a touch point to our clients. It is a touch point to our prospective customers. It's a touch point to that whole audience base that we build, right? We meet people, we connect with people, we put people on our list. We maybe have a customer who comes in once and then they don't come in again, and we just lose them, right? We aren't continuing to keep the touch point. And social media is fabulous for that, right? We go on social media platforms, we post, we maybe interact in some groups, and that's fantastic. But we don't own that social media list. Okay, we use it daily, but if you lost your social media accounts, what can you do to build that back up? Well, if you have your email list and you're emailing regularly, you can now go to all of your email contacts, let them know what your new social media sites are, and hopefully start to regain all of those followers that you had. Okay, it's a great starting point. It is another touch point. So we touch our customers and our clients when we service them, of course, when we provide the service to them, when we meet them at networking events, when we are in social media with them. We're contacting people continuously, building our list, building our network, and the newsletter is just another touch point. And I hear people say, well, they don't open the newsletter anyway, people get too much email. But that's okay, because what happens is your name will show up in their inbox. So if all they see, because they're too busy to open and read a newsletter, if all they see is your name and maybe your business name beside it, it triggers, right? It triggers in their mind. And people need to see things over and over again to be reminded. And at one point, they're going to see that and they're going to go, hey, yeah, I want some Botox with Hira. Yeah, I want some products, Monica, right? It's just going to trigger. Okay, and we're going to talk a little bit more about content in the newsletter to help you even get that word out a little bit more. So what is your newsletter content planning all about? I use a simple sort of acronym PST, plan, simplify, and teach. And we're going to go through that. What I say to people is make it a customer journey. Don't wait every month to decide what you want to put in a newsletter. Think about where you are right now with your customers or your potential customers, and where do you want to be with them in 4 to 6 months? Okay. If they're not buying from you now, of course, we want to build upon that and have them be your customer in 4 to 6 months. If they're a customer now, for instance, buying one product a month or every 2 months, in 4 to 6 months, you want to expose them to a little bit more about the need for your product so that they are buying 2, 3, or 4, or coming in more regularly to see you, right? So you kind of need to think about where you are now in your business, what you're offering, and what is it in 4 to 6 months where is it in 4 to 6 months you want to be with your customers, with your audience. Okay. So I really just use a very simple spreadsheet for this. Okay. We talk about the month, and we talk about and looking at 3 to 4 to 6 months. And starting with 3 is great. And we're going to go through a little bit of each of these as we go. So we'll come back to that. So the purpose, it's the reason. So what is the why? What is the why of having a newsletter? First and foremost, of course, we want to sell, right? To sell or not to sell. Well, no one wants a newsletter full of buy, you know, here it is, buy. But what we want to do with newsletters, we want to build the know, like, and trust. Okay. We buy from people we know, people we like, and people we trust. Isn't that true? You know, how often have you received an email or even on social media, direct message from somebody you don't, they're, you know, selling the product. Oftentimes what you'll do is you'll say, okay, I like the person that I know and that I like and that I trust for that product. So you need to think about how to infuse that know, like, and trust into your newsletter. So if we're talking about product promotions, let's just think about this for a bit. What can you do to share your products, right? And here's some great prompts to focus on. So what's a generic, you know, generic, what is the brand of this product? And why is that product important? Okay, so based on what I have, what is out there that is really important about product service? Okay, and I'm, you know, here is on my screen, which talks about Botox. And, you know, one of the commercials that stands in my mind is the one that talks about people with migraines, how it helps, right? So we're not talking about Botox here. We're talking about the headache and the fact that this product, doesn't matter where it comes from or who provides the service, is really coming forward as being very, very important and helpful for headaches. So the story is not the Botox, the story is the headache, right? That's the generic across the whole platform of how important that is. Okay. Now, what makes your product or service different from others? Okay, so what makes you stand apart from others with this product? Okay, is it the way you provide it? Is it your surroundings? Is it your education, your knowledge? You know, what is it that makes you stand apart from your competitor? What's that competitive advantage that you have with this product or service? What do clients say about your product? Now, testimonials are huge, 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 right? So you want to make sure when you're planning content, you can build a lot of testimonials into your newsletter. somewhere, somehow. So when you're telling in the next line, the real-time benefits of this product and how it really works for people, then you have to back it up. And what do you back it up with? A testimonial from one of your clients. Okay. Someone who's pretty great at this is, I don't know if you know Pat Burney at all, but she sells Usana products. And Pat is, I don't know how old she is, in her 60s maybe, I'm not 100% sure. She's been using Usana products for years and years and years and years. She's a fairly healthy eater, and she plays hockey. Okay. And she's a tiny little thing. Like if you see her, she is like a tiny little person, but she gets out there and plays hockey, and she's well into her 60s. And that's kind of one of the ways that she promotes the fact that Usana has helped and improved her health over the years, right? So again, the real-time benefit. So you need to show that from yourself or from the customers who buy from you. Okay. And we talk, and then what can you offer people to get them to buy? Now, I'm not a huge fan of giving freebies all the time, but if you have an opportunity to give a discount or a sample or a one-to-one consultation, something where you can really connect with that person and really make them feel important and give them a little bit of an advantage to purchase something, then go ahead and do it, right? We all love that kind of stuff. And, we go into the why again. Why are you representing this product line? Why are you in this business? I came into newsletter content strategist because I've been doing them all my life. Well, not all my life. I've been doing them all of my career. Every job I have been in, I have either taken over or implemented a newsletter because of how important it was. So in the corporate world, it was newsletters for our clients. It was a magazine. I worked in communications, and I worked for the senior vice president, and we put together a magazine every 2 months for the entire company, all the employees and our clients as well. So, why? And I loved it. I just loved connecting with people and pulling pieces of information and putting it together and planning what's coming up next and what we can write about. And it just, it's just something that I become passionate about. It's news, and people crave news. People crave information. They love to read. So tell people, why do you do what you do, and why that specific product line, if it is a product, or why those services. Maybe you're fantastic at it. You've been doing it forever, whatever it is. Let people know your story. Okay. And of course, the benefits. You must always, always, always focus on the benefits of products or services. What is the benefit to the customer? Okay. Things to think about when you're putting your content together to make them far more effective. Hey, we want to be informative, right? As I said, people crave information. People love to get information. It's a valid statistic that that's what we do. We want to continue to learn. So what do you give people to keep them learning, right? So we talk about, we don't want to sell, but how do you sell? Well, you sell through your stories. You sell through your customers' real life experiences and testimonials. You sell through giving them tips and tricks around the product or the services that you offer. You sell around encouraging people. I read once that your customer is always the hero, right? So, we always say that the customer is never wrong. And sometimes they are, not arguing that. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that the customer always feels like they're the hero. You don't want to put them down. I was in a social media group a few weeks ago, and somebody asked for a handyman. They were looking for a handyman to come and do some work in the house. And there was a female on there who came back and said, I wish you wouldn't use the term handyman. Handy person is the appropriate term. Some of us are women and we do the same work as men, and you should use handy person. And I got on there and I said, well, I think handyman is just kind of an old term that we use. It's not meant to be harmful in any way. So I don't feel that she needed to be reprimanded for her word. And this girl just came right back at me. You are downgrading our profession. You are downgrading women in the profession. We already get enough from all the men in the profession, and on and on and on. And I thought, boy, if I was the person who put that post on there and you've knocked me down for my wording, I would never hire you. She didn't mean any harm by it. She just used a traditional word. So if you always need to make your customer, your reader, look like a hero. So always word things in a way where you are educating them and making them feel really good. Right? So if you don't want to tell people they're doing things wrong, you want to tell them the right way to do it. Here's a tip for you, or here is, if you're already doing this, then add this to it and it'll make you this much better. Right? So you always want to make sure that you're adding on good things and not saying, well, if you're not taking your vitamin D, you're going to blah, 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 blah. You want to say, hey, did you know the benefits of? And encourage them to guide them to the direction you want them to be in, but always through encouragement. Okay. You want to share resources and case studies. And here's the thing, you don't have to write them all. I mean, if you have great case stories for your business, wonderful. But if you don't, that's okay. Share links to other resources. Share case studies from other areas that are valid. You definitely don't want to share them from your competitor because you don't want to direct people there, but find resources and case studies. And it's okay to use other people's content for two reasons. Number one, you are supporting somebody else if it mirrors in or matches in with your business. And secondly, because it shows that you too are keeping on top of your business and you are the expert in your business, and you too continue to learn so that you can share with your clients. Right? I don't want to go look for all of this information, but if you send it to me, I'm happy to read it. Right? I may not think about going out there and looking for information on certain things, but when you send it to me, I'm going to read it. So that shows you as an expert in your field. And this all links into the same helpful knowledge. Anything that helps us in our day-to-day lives is great. And, we often forget, but share some simple updates. What's going on in your business? What's going on in your life? What's happening that you want to share? You don't have to put everything out there. A lot of things are personal. As I said, I've kind of been really behind the scenes for many months because I didn't want to be out there with it. But little updates about what's going on in your business, what's coming up. What are you adding? If you're adding something new's coming. I'm so excited. Can't wait to share it with you. So little tidbits and things like that kind of just add a little bit of a personal touch to your newsletter. And we're not looking at putting all of this information every month. We'll talk about that too. But you can keep a list of things that you can put into your newsletter so you don't have to go research every single month. And that's the part of the planning. And the simplify. And this is where I said we're not putting everything into our newsletter, but think of the power of one main topic or theme and one main call to action. So sometimes that's tough. And Christine and I chatted about this, I think in the last session or maybe the first session, but Christine has a lot of events that go on, right? So she doesn't want to send a newsletter every single day with, only one event, but the main topic or theme is always at the top. And the main call to action is always highlighted when that's the event she wants people to register for, right? So if she has an event that only 10 people fit into the room for, that may not be the main call to action. It's going to be the bigger one because that's where she wants to get all the registrations. She'll include the smaller event, but it's the big one she wants to highlight more, right? But the main topic or theme in her newsletter is going to be the upcoming events for the month, right? That's it. Okay, and then she has a separate one that she sends out to her her membership people that tells us what we can expect for the month, you know, what benefits that membership brings to the directory, sorry, but what benefits being a member of that directory brings to each of those events. Okay, so main topic or theme, keeping it very simple. And a lot of people think, oh, my newsletter, I only have like one small paragraph. That's okay. Tidbits of information are fantastic. People open it, they read it, you know, and then they can either act if you've got a call to action there, or they can just close it and delete it. But again, you've popped up. There's that touch point. And I got my little tip for the day. Okay. So don't think you got to be big, huge, lots of stories, lots of articles, big, long blog. Keep it short, keep it sweet and simple. Okay. So you want to teach, and we've talked a little bit about this already with informative. And your goal in your newsletter is to teach your audience. So teach them about you. We need to get to know you. Okay. We want to get to like you and we want to trust you. So always tell them a little bit about something about you, your product or your service, how it can help them, how they can be better with it. How does it make my life better? You know, why will life be easier with this product or service? Why they need it? What benefits will they receive? And why are you doing or selling this? Okay. And this is, you know, an overlap on being informative, but really a little more targeted. Okay. Think, know, like, and trust. And how can you build that into the newsletter? Through your experiences, through you, through your own story, whatever it is, you know, how can you teach and help your reader who will now become, hopefully, a customer because they see your expertise. So we talked about the plan. And this is, you know, a very simple way to get started is we have our months across the top here and then think about, so March, you know, what's a theme, a product, or a focus for the month? You know, March is kind of the winter, looking forward to spring. April's more spring, you know, but you can pick a theme based on the month. March is St. Patrick's Day. You've got a green theme and there's green products in your business that you can highlight. Maybe there's something coming up in your business in March. You know, March is a special event that you're going to based on your business. Or March, you've got a special product that you want to feature, like MLMs. We'll have monthly products and monthly product features and specials. So you can work around that. You know, if you've got a great moisturizing cream that's going to be on sale in March, you know, our skin's getting pretty dry now. We've been inside for what, 4 or 5 months and the furnace has been running and, you know, here's a great cream or here's a great way to moisturize, right? And then you want to always have a bit of an opening statement. So something that was shared with me the other day actually was really interesting is you should never start your newsletter with an image on top, because apparently when an image is the first thing people see, Google decides that's a promotional email and pops that into people's promotion folder. So if you're one who's got the Google folder set up, your email is going to hit the promotion box. So think about an opening statement that you can put right at the very top of your newsletter. You know, maybe it's just a little welcome message for the month, or you know, thanks for reading, or a little what do you call it? A little quote, something that you can open up your newsletter with that is not going to be image based. Then tell us what the main topic is. right? Going back to, are you going to share a story? Are you going to share a case study? Are you going to share how to use a certain product or the benefits of the product? That's the main topic. And then the call to action. What do you want people to do? And every newsletter needs some kind of call to action, because a click rate nowadays is far more important than an open rate. So we want to make sure we direct people somewhere. Is it going to be, buy now? Is it going to be read this article here? Is it going to be check this out? Whatever it is. But make sure there is a very strong call to action where you can get people to click. Maybe it's simply learn more, and it gets directed to the sales page with the product information, or it gets directed to the article you want them to read, right? Or the blog post that you've put up. Whichever it is, you want to make sure there's a simple call to action in there. Okay. And that creates your simple plan for a newsletter. Not complicated, very simple, great way to start. If you want to add more in, go ahead, make it longer, but don't overcomplicate it and think you cannot send out a newsletter. Make sure you send one out with quality information. It's quality over quantity, and it is consistency. Consistency builds trust. If anybody follows, I believe that was Amy Porterfield, that was her comment. Consistency builds trust. Seeing somebody's newsletter over and over again, their content over and over again, shows that they can trust you because you're there, right? They see you. You're an expert. They see you've got value. And that's what we want to see from people, right? Who do you buy from? Somebody who gives you value, somebody who's an expert. So how can you relay that to your clients, your audience, your customers, your prospective customers? Okay. And these are the questions to ask yourself when you've finally written your newsletter. Check this off. Have I given a benefit or value? Do I sound like the expert in my field? And ChatGPT is great for this. If you're not sure and you don't know how to write, go to, one of the ChatGPT programs, type things in, but don't use the content exactly as given to you. Try to put it into your type of wording, right? Sometimes it's a little technical or it doesn't sound like you. So change it up so that you use some of your words. Have I taught my reader something? Have I given a clear call to action? And is there anything relevant that I could add in there that I'm missing? Okay. A great newsletter offers a return on investment to the reader. So why am I going to give you my time to read your content? Because you're going to send me quality information. So if I'm going to give you 3 to 5 minutes to read your newsletter, I want to make sure it's really good content. Okay. That's my return on investment. I'm going to invest my time, but I'm going to get good quality content. Because if it's not good quality content, the next time it comes in, I'm going to delete it or unsubscribe. So make sure it's always about quality for the reader. All right. So I'm going to stop share. Are there any questions? Any thoughts? Any feedback? Anything to do with any of your businesses?
I have some things I want to echo, but let's look at the question from Kira, which is, I'm not sure what to do for e-newsletters versus just regular short emails. I also don't want them to feel overwhelmed with emails. When I talk to them, they say they're open to having 1 to 2 emails per month.
Yep, 1 to 2 is perfect. So so I guess the question is, what do you consider a newsletter versus a short email? So here, if you want to unmute, you can just tell us.
Yes, hello. Yes,
Hi.
okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to send them too much. So I was thinking like maybe one newsletter and like one short email. I'm not sure like exactly how to set it up. And I don't know like what
So
what should be a newsletter and what should be an email, like because I know the newsletter has to have a lot more information.
Not true. Not true. Not true at all. I guess I'm trying to think of what do you see as a difference between a newsletter and a short email?
Well, I mean, like a newsletter would have like maybe a link to like a blog post and like articles, like overall updates, like kind of everything all at once for the month. But then a short email is like more specific, like one promotion or one update, which is like one specific thing that I would segment maybe. That's it.
That's a great idea. So yes, you can use the newsletter as an update as to what's happening, and then maybe a bit of, a tidbit of information. And then you can send something that's a little more personal based on one specific service or promotion. Yeah. So I think the thinking of a newsletter is like the old style, where we think of this printed piece of paper that's like the newspaper, right?
Yeah.
And we have to have, stuff in here. But really, a newsletter is no different than a short email. It's a touch point.
Yeah.
It's just a touch point, right? That's all it is. So don't overcomplicate it and think you have to have all of this information in a big newsletter. I would actually not put in more than 2 sections in a newsletter. So if you've got more content, then do 2 newsletters. Smaller list. If you have a big list, you can really put out more. Like I have a client who puts one out weekly, but it's very short. It's like one topic, one small topic. She's an organizer, so she picks one for the house, and it's one tip every week. Right? Short, sweet. That makes sense?
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay.
I agree completely with Marianne's opening statement there about, well, what do you think a newsletter is and what do you think an email is? And really, I thought, Kira, what you're thinking is this polished, professional, totally branded, like you always want your emails to have some sense of branding, yes? But we don't necessarily need to do that. And depending on the state, I believe, of your business, whether you're kind of in the beginning infancy stages, these bi-weekly emails are probably good enough. That's all they need. Your readers have told you already, they only want 1 or 2. But here's the thing. Marianne said earlier, click rate is important. Click rate tells us the health of our audience. Yeah, we want them to open it. We want them to click on things. If you're promoting one thing, which is, let's say you're special on Botox, get a, sign up for 5, get 1 for free. Don't even know if that's how it works, but I'm giving you an example with the CTA button to take that offer, buy that offer now. Then what you could also do is you could put one other small section that says, oh, see what people are saying about us. And one line with a link to testimonials. Or you could say, hey, check out what we've done with The Office. That's it. One line with a link taking them to, let's say, the social media post where your mom does a tour of The Office. I remember you guys had one like that last week. So you can do these little things. Now, I just want the offer. I take it and go. I want a little bit more. Here are these one-liners that have piqued my curiosity, and I will click on these things to go to your website, to go to your YouTube video, to go to your TikTok. Like, oh my God, this is hilarious. Check this out, right? If they want it, they can take it, but it's not a lot. And my other point that I made inside the chat box was reuse, repurpose, and make sure that you are not reinventing the wheel. You guys are putting great content out on your social medias. Push people to that. Use that, right? You don't have to come up with brand new stuff at all. And remember, as Marianne said at the opening of this presentation, we don't own social media. It could go away any day, anytime. We could get hacked. It could get taken over. Email is what we own, and that's how you'll keep your clients if you lose your social media. And the bigger your email list, then more emails you can send, right, Marianne? The bigger your list, the more emails you can send. You can start doing weekly. I mean, I know some people who do daily emails. That's a bit much for me, but when you like the content and they have good content, super. The other thing I was going to say is you guys have a really great social media presence, but not everyone is on social all the time. So they might not see your content, and it's really a busy place. And, you know, if you're not doing the latest trends, they might not even see it. Like social media wouldn't even get pushed out to them. So don't be afraid to start collecting when they on their booking system. You should automatically be capturing their emails and be including them in these, like I think is right for you guys, short little emails with links to other stuff when they feel like it or want it. Now, the thing with your company and you guys who are also, you know, the recipients of emails, tell me if you agree with this. When I have to make an appointment with something, life is busy. I forget.
Yeah.
If you show up in my inbox and remind me to make that appointment, and here's the button to make that appointment, oh yeah, I got to do that.
Yeah, I agree. No, it sounds perfect. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do the same thing. Yeah, and that was a really good idea, like to have them push to the social media, because like we haven't really been doing that much with that, and we're posting so much more now, so we might as well make use of it.
You are, and your videos are so great. Your reels and your TikToks are short. They're to the point. They're giving information. I love that your mom is on there explaining things. You guys are showing videos of the actual treatments, because I don't know what all this stuff is, but listen, I'm a lady of that age. Get up there, you know, right? So that helps me see, oh, that's what they mean, right? So good job. Yeah.
I have just going back to that here, I have a client, and what we do is I actually go through, she's got a ton of short videos, and they're kind of all linked onto her website, and they're a new client to me. So I actually go there, I look through the videos, and I plan her monthly theme around one or two of those videos.
Okay.
So yeah, so you know, you like think about that, right? How can you reverse use it for your content?
Always repurpose, recycle, use. Okay, it should be really easy for you to create even, you know, these bi-weekly emails by copying and pasting the content. And the videos, two things you can do with the videos. These videos you have on TikTok and Instagram, you could put these on YouTube as video, YouTube shorts. YouTube shorts are hot right now. So again, repurpose the content. And you're a brick and mortar, so you want to keep driving traffic to your location, your home site. So think about maybe even now investing in time into Google My Business, your personal, the Google profile, because it's all attached to maps. Now that you have a physical location, that's going to help you drive traffic. And when people, every time they leave, you guys need to set up a system to get a review from them every time they leave and get it on Google. Okay, that's going to be a good option for anyone who is a physical location. But remember, in your email, push them out. And the same way, social media, you're pushing them to your website. You're pushing them to sign up for your newsletters. It works. It's a full cycle. None of this works separately.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, I got off on a tangent there.
That was wonderful. Thank you.
No, yeah, no, feel free to ask away. Yeah,
you know,
I also, you know, I don't know what your content is. So I'm glad Christine pitched in there, but yeah, if you have content, I mean, just use it and use it again and again. You know, it's just, it makes sense because people won't see it. And if they did see it, they'll see it again and it'll trigger, right? It'll trigger that, yes, I wanted to do that. And yes, maybe I didn't have the money for it right now, but now you sent it to me 3 months later and God, I wanted to do this and I got some bucks and I'm getting in there, you know? So yeah.
And then one other question, you mentioned that like the first thing on the email shouldn't be an image, but like when we were making the templates and everything, I put the logo first. So should I like not do that?
No, I think the logo is fine.
Okay.
I would just don't make it like really big. Like sometimes I get newsletters and the logo is like the first half of the page. So email is similar to social media. I think it's that what's it called? Above the fold. So I don't know if you've heard that. It's kind of like with, you know, if you think of a newspaper, and you think of the way the newspaper gets folded in half, the headline is always above that fold,
Mhm.
right? So same with your emails. Make sure that the most important piece or the eye-catching piece,
Yeah.
the eye-catching information is going to be on the top part of the screen. Okay.
Thank you.
So I also have a couple things to say about that. Make sure that your preview text, okay? So remember have the subject
Yeah.
line and the preview text. Subject line is enticing. Make sure the preview text is enticing too, because that's what they see in their inbox as the first line. And make sure you're using alt text on your images. So if we talked about this, I'll make sure to show you again. Alt text is if the image doesn't load, because some people, they don't have images loading, make sure there's something there enticing them to, again, load the images so they can see it. Awesome. I want to just say one last thing from Marianne's presentation. She mentioned the quote, consistency builds trust, right? And I wanted to share with you that when I was only sending one email per month, my unsubscribe rate was quite high, 3 or 4 or 5. But once I moved to weekly, my unsubscribe rate is only like 1 per email now, which is, in my opinion, fantastic. And it goes to show you consistency builds trust. When you only show up once a month, they forget who you are. They forget who you are and they're like, who is this person? Why are they sending me stuff? I don't know who they are. Unsubscribe. But when we show up every week or bi-weekly, more consistently, 30 days is a long time, we remind them, right? We give them the opportunity to know, like, and trust us and go, yeah, this content has been helpful. So I just wanted to share that from my personal experience with unsubscribe rates. And the last thing I'll say on unsubscribe is don't worry. If they unsubscribe, it's okay. They're not meant to be your client. You want them to unsubscribe because you really want people who are going to open and read and click, right? That's going to help you with the health of your mailing list, your audience. Okay, excellent presentation, Marianne. Thank you for breaking down some of those barriers for us and thoughts and shifting the mindset. Does anyone have any questions for Marianne? Any other anything else you'd like to ask her?
If anything comes up, you can always reach me through the Facebook group or direct message me, whatever it is. Okay, happy to help and answer.
Excellent. Thank you, Marianne. We're happy to see you. Your beautiful
Thank
face,
you.
your lovely scarf. We look forward to seeing you online more and more as you regenerate and recoup. And we are sending you all the love. All the love.
Thank
baby.
you. All righty. I'm gonna log off. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Yeah.
Okay. So does anybody want to take a 2-minute break since we kind of have this division in subjects? 1 or 2 minute, or do you want to keep going? I'm good either way.
I could refresh my coffee.
Okay. 2-minute, grab a new coffee, get some water. We'll see you back here at a 10:52.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, we're back. We're gonna go ahead and resume. I just want to do a quick campaign to show you how, just as a reminder, okay? I'm going to show you a quick campaign, and I'm going to use the pre-builts with this campaign. I'm going to walk through the steps, and then we're going to get into the contact table. So a couple minutes now on the recap of how to send a campaign. So I just want to remind you that you're going to be using the template you created. I highly advise you to use a template to begin starting your email, okay? And then you can choose to make multiple templates for different types of purposes. You know, you can have a welcome template, you can have a thank you template, you can have a we'd love to get your review template. And then you can have one that looks and feels the same for the bi-weekly or weekly email / newsletters. And then when you use the template, you create your template based on your you create your campaigns based on the templates, right? And you're going to have that consistent look and feel in all of them. So this is some of the stuff we went over last week. And then the steps. So let's just jump into that. So I'm going to pop over to Mailchimp. Oh, two-factor authentication. Give me a second to log in. And we are logging in 90176. Whoops, didn't go in. I highly recommend turning that on if you haven't. It's not a big deal to enter in the code when it comes up, but you do have client information and you do want to make sure that you protect that. Okay.
Good point.
So, yeah, we have a responsibility to them, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so remember, you can go down to content and you can go to your email templates if you want to create a new one. Once you've got your template created, you click on all campaigns, or I'll just click on all campaigns and I take a quick look at what I've been doing, but really you don't have to click on all campaigns. You can click on the create button. Once you're in the campaign sections, you can click on create new. Okay. Now, to be honest with you, when I am creating a new campaign, I will see if that campaign is in line with or in a series with other emails that I've already sent out. And what I honestly will do is, let's say it has to do with Mailchimp emails, or it has to do with, in this case, I'm in my database for 100 Women, which is a community group with members who nominate and vote and so on and so forth. When I'm setting a campaign, I usually just go to the most recent campaign and I go to so here's a recent campaign. I go to the down arrow beside view report and I usually just hit replicate. Okay, I usually just hit replicate. And I start off with an old campaign, getting rid of the old information and adding the new. Okay, if you have a series like that you're doing, just one example. Okay, one example. But just as a reminder, maybe some of you haven't sent any campaigns out yet. I'm just going to click on the create button so I can walk you through all of the steps. So I click on the create button. It asks me what I want to do: regular email, automation if I have a paid version, and landing page, which we're going to work on next week. So I'm just going to do a regular email. So I'm going to click on design email. When I click on design email, it is going to basically allow me or ask me to enter in all the pertinent details about the outside, I call, of the email. So I'm going to click on at the very top and work my way down to the bottom. I'm going to click on edit name. And I'm actually going to send a weekly email to this particular database. This is a live example. My copywriter just sent me a Google Doc that has the information to go out for February 19th email. So I'm just going to walk through that with you and show you a real live scenario. Weekly email, Feb 19th. Okay, so that's what I'm working on right now. I'll click the save button. You can be, of course, more specific here. This is only information for you and no one else. Then you can go down to the to line and you can determine, is it going to all the recipients in this list? There's 262. Or do I want to edit the recipients in segment? I'm going to leave the segmentation for a little bit later because today I'm actually going to talk to you about tagging and segmentation. So for now, we're just going to leave it as the default. and it is hyperlinked here. There's an underline that lets me click on that, and then I can actually see all the recipients that it's going to, okay? And you'll notice it opens up a second tab or a second window. Just close that when you're done looking at it. So that is the default. And then the from line from this account, the default is steering team, okay? And if you want to change that per email, you can do that. There's a default setting in the settings, or you can click on the edit from button and change the information to whatever you want, okay? I'm just going to change this to Christine Hall, President, just as an example to show you, and save. And we have our company email address, the subject line, because I'm sending this out on Family Day, the 19th, I'm going to click on add a subject, and I'm going to type in Happy Family Day. And it's also nominations for this group open up today. Okay, and then over here, I might pop in an emoji. Okay, so I can click on the emoji. I don't know if there's an appropriate family day or family icon that I can use. This isn't all the icons, but then you can just kind of look and see. I'm just going to scroll down, and I'll just add a red heart there. Okay, the preview. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to change this. I put in wishing a great day for your loved ones. I'm just actually going to change it to nominations are open to nominate your favorite local charity. Okay, so once you've got that in, you can click save. And then you can click on design template. Okay, so you can see I'm just working my way down. Now, what happens is it's going to ask me, well, what would you like to base this email on? So remember last week, we created our templates. And once you create a template, they're saved here in the save templates. So I'm going to go ahead and click on saved templates. And then last week in the example, I created a welcome message template. I do have a standard template, general use template, and a weekly email update template, voting is open template, so on and so forth. I'm going to go ahead and click on the general use template. I have a preview button or the apply button. I'm going to head and click on apply. So remember, on the left-hand side, for those of you who know and use Canva, it's similar. On the left-hand side, we have all of the far left, I should say, we have all of our buttons here that allow us to get into the different areas. And then every time we click on one of these, we see the middle section here changes to allow us to make the specific customizations for that element. I'm just going to click back on the add button. The add button allows us to drag and drop any of the blocks in. So I'm going to go ahead and type the nominate your favorite charity today. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and enter the body of the text. I'm going to start off with dear space left line, and I'm going to add my merge tag called first name, and I'm going to put the comma after it and then hit enter. And then I'm just going to go to this Word doc or this Google Doc where I have the content. Okay, so bear with me for a second. I'm just going to copy and paste the information into the document. Happy Family Day. We hope, okay. There we go. That is the first line, as you can see. And then they have a graphic, or she's added the graphic. I'll do that in a minute. Then there is another heading, body text bullets. So I'm just going to copy the information. Okay, that's it. I'm just showing you, instead of retyping it, I'm going to copy it. I can put it in the same block, or I can go to the left-hand side and I can grab my new paragraph block and drop it in. Okay, so just recap. So the formatting didn't come over, so I will format it. So I'm going to go to the heading, charity nominations start today, and I'm going to make that a heading 2. Okay, then I have my regular paragraph, which is great. I just want to change this to left aligned. I don't like center. I don't know why. I'm just going to separate all of that. And then this last section is bulleted list. Okay, so just an example of how we use our formatting toolbar. Copying and pasting content. This would be like you copying and pasting content from Instagram or from TikTok or from Facebook. You're going to copy and paste the information right into your the body of your email. I'm going to add, let's see what she has here. I think she has an image. Okay, there's one image. Okay, before I add the images, I'm going to, let me just see if I can copy and paste in the new builder. No, okay, so the new builder doesn't let me copy and paste, so I got to download those before I can upload them. Okay, I'll leave the placeholder for the photo and then, or the image. I'll go and grab the rest of the text. Okay, so all I'm doing is going over to my Word doc and grabbing the rest of the text, and I'm moving back to Mailchimp. And I think I will click here. Yeah, perfect. And then paste. So I need to do a little bit of formatting so that the text looks the way I want it. The headings are in place. All right, and then I add in my bullets. You'll notice it says register here. I'm going to double click on the here, and I'm going to grab the URL to register for this event from my website. Okay, so I'm just moving around a little bit amongst the different tabs on my browser so that I can copy and paste the information that already exists elsewhere. I'm just bringing it, I'm serving it to my audience inside their inbox. So far, so good? Feel like I'm missing a heading here. Yeah, okay, great. Let me go back. Okay, so no, it looks like I got all the text that I needed. I'm just going to go back. We have one line here. And I format. Okay. Become a member. I don't like the placement of this. Remember, when you click on these elements, you can drag and drop them to move them around. So I'll move it down there. Okay. So a little tip for you. If you ever receive a Google document, like I've received this Google document here, it has images. I want these images. I can actually go to the Google Doc to File and then go to Download, and I can choose Web Page. What's going to happen? Oh, sorry. Did I do that right? Hang on one second. Let me just test this. Yeah. Okay. What's going to happen? Can you still see my screen or not?
Yes.
Because I've moved out. When I'm in Google Docs and when I choose Download Web Page, what'll happen is it creates a zip file for me with the content in one folder and the images in another. So if you can see right now, what has happened is it's downloaded the 5 images from that document here for me into a folder. So what I'm going to do now that they're downloaded is I go back to Mailchimp and I add them. To add an image, you're going to use your blocks, and I'm going to drag and drop and add an image block after the introduction or salutation, because that's where my family day image is going to go. When I drag and drop my block, I go over to the left-hand side and I click add, and then I upload the image. I've got to go get it from my hard drive where it's stored. And there is my image. Now, if this was a product image, guys, if this was a product image, or if this was a free download, or if this was to a program or an event, I would definitely put in a link to the URL to that spot. Okay, it isn't a product or anything. It's an image. It's not going anywhere. But what I will do, if the end user or recipient doesn't have their images turned on by default, I'll just go down and do you see inside the left-hand side, there's an alt text. I'll just type in Happy Family Day. Okay, so if the image doesn't display, then at least they have the word. And that's what I recommend you all do as well. With all of your images, make sure you're using your alt text. Okay, next thing is I got to put in the image for here. The placeholder is already there. Let me just go see which one it is. Okay, the placeholder is already there. So I'll just click on the placeholder. On the left-hand side, I click on add and I upload the image. Oh, wrong image. It's this one, I believe. Let me just check. So once you have the image in place, you will go down. Now the nominations are open. I want them to nominate. So I'm going to choose the link to web. Okay, link to web. And I'm going to put in the URL to the nomination page. So I go to my website and I go to the place where I find the link to nominate. This is really how you're going to be working. You're going to have multiple pages open when you're creating your email, and you're going to be picking and pulling the information from multiple resources. Alt text, nominate your favorite charity today. Okay, and whatever information, sometimes I'll even include the URL. Okay, but you've got your links in place, and then you can click done. Okay, so looking good so far. I'm going to go down. And then again, it says members may nominate as many charities as they like. So this link, ladies and gentlemen, is to the nominate page. If I want to drive it home even more, I can add a button that says nominate now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is the button I want after this second paragraph, but you can see how they're all in the same placeholder. I can't drag and drop a button in there, so I have to separate them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this block, okay, by clicking on the duplicate button in the floating toolbar. I'm going to remove that information from there, and from the second block, I'll remove that information. So I'm just setting this up. Again, if you want a button after each section or each product or each promo, then you have to make sure that you break down the content into smaller chunks. Now that I have broken it down, I can go over to my left-hand side and I can grab the button and drop it in place. Okay. And then I can choose the color and any of the other formatting options for the button and click on the text over here. And type in the call to action. Make sure that I also over here on the left-hand side, if you can see my screen, I'm putting in the charities page, the link to what I want them to do. So your product page, your appointment page, your booking page. Is everybody clear that what I'm doing there?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. And click done. So back to the top, just to recap, I have my heading, I have my opening, a graphic, charity nominations start today. It's all formatted. This is actually linking to the page a little bit more. And then I even have the call to action button. I really want them to take this action, and there it is. Over here, I have my winter info session. I'm going to add a button here as well. Now that I already have the button I like and want, I'll just click on the button that I already have and duplicate it. When the button is duplicated, just drag and drop the button to the new spot. Once the button is in the place that you want it, then you're going to go ahead and make the changes, make the updates. So this is register now, or RSVP, whatever you want to put, and just make sure that you change the URL. So I'm going to go up on the left-hand side and change the URL to meetings. Okay, so far so good. I'm actually doing a real live scenario here with you. I'm taking the information from different places, putting it in. So far so good?
Excellent.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions so far about the buttons? I'll do another one with the pre-built just by itself in a second. Just doing a recap for you.
Can you just show me real quick what the alt text was you were talking about for the images?
Absolutely. So you're going to click on the image. You have to click on the image to be able to see the formatting options for the image. And then if you scroll it down about halfway, you're going to see the alt text field. So it'll be underneath first it starts off with select the image, talks about alignment, and it asks what you want to link it to. Okay, web, email, phone, file, landing page. And then the URL followed by the alt text.
So I see that for most of the images, but there's one image that's not showing that. And I think that's because this image was actually AI generated. But it has like a heading and a subheading in the options, but it doesn't have an alt text option. So I don't know how that would show, but
Yeah, I'm not sure. My Gmail account, I'll tell you my Gmail account, the default is images don't load. So I have to click the load button, and I do that if it's something that's, I really want to see. Usually when I'm out on the road, so to speak, out of my office on my phone, I will see what the message entails before I click on the load images. Now, I want to just share something with you. A lot of people love Canva. They use Canva for everything. They've created graphics in Canva that has all the content, and they just put that in. So what I'm saying is they just put one image that has everything. That is not a good idea. One image that contains all your information means for a person like me, Kira, I'm going to get a blank email. So you just want to play in the way that this platform is built, and it wants the text itself. It wants the content. It wants it broken down. So see how it goes with that AI generated one, and then do one from scratch and see if you get a different kind of response. Remember, we want people clicking on things, right? We want people clicking on things. Okay. I wanted to show you just a few other things when it comes to link to. Is that okay with you guys? Is that okay if I do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to make this up here. It doesn't actually fit, okay, with this email, because this is a real email I'm going to send out later. So what I'll just show you is I'm going to click done, and I'm going to go and add in a new paragraph block. Want to volunteer? Okay. that's my heading, right? So I'm going to make that a heading 2. Send Christine an email to ask for to learn what roles are available. Okay, not perfect. I probably wouldn't send it just like this, but you get what I'm trying to create a sentence here where I actually choose this word email as the link to. Okay, so here I am. I have the word email selected. Then I'm going to click on my link button. Okay, because it's paragraph, I click on my link button on my formatting toolbar. It asks me where I want to link to. From the drop-down list, I'm going to choose email. From there, I see the email options open up, and I'm going to say Christine at mob.ca. Oh, sorry, this is not mob. This is Mississauga info at 100 women who care Mississauga.com. Yes, did I get that right? Yeah, okay. Subject line, volunteer info. What I'm doing is I'm actually creating, let's say, an action where when they click on email, it opens up inside their email with my 2-line filled out and the subject line. If I want, please send me more info. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So I'll hit save. Now let's check out this preview. Remember, always preview before you send. So I'm going to hit the preview. And when I hit the preview, I am going to turn on my live. I will see my member's name there. Scrolling down, I will see that I just added want to volunteer, and then send Christine an email. It's hyperlinked. I click on that and it opens up whatever your email package is, Outlook, Gmail, whatever. And there it is. Guys, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so, information about our programs, information about our services, want a book, whatever, you can have that automatically happen. It's pretty neat. The other thing is I could say send me the volunteer list. Okay, so let's say it's not send me. Let's say this one is show me the volunteer list. Okay, let's say show me the volunteer list. And then I'll select this volunteer list. And in this case, I click on the link button and I'm going to go to file. And then I'm going to upload a file from my device. And let me just see if I can quickly find something. We have a charter for our committee. Let me just see if I can find, there we go. Okay, so want to volunteer? Show me the list. Okay, so in that case, I'll click the preview button. And when I go to live preview mode, scroll, you don't need to go to live preview mode. It's a habit of mine to always do that. I go down to this section where it says, show me the, oh, wait a second. Did I not save it? I must not have saved it. Sorry. Do that again. I'm just walking through the steps again. For some reason, it didn't save. I may not have. Okay. PDF. Yeah, I guess I didn't hit the save button. That was it. I didn't hit the save button. So show me the volunteer list. Click preview. Scroll down. Click on volunteer list. And this is what will open for your clients. Okay, whatever email package they're in, it will open a window that will show them. This was a PDF document, a PDF, and I do recommend that as the best way for you to send your files. It could have been an image, it could have been a DOC, like a doc file or a spreadsheet, but you run the risk of them not having that application on whatever file, whatever computer they're looking at. Did that make sense, you guys?
Yes.
So I always recommend creating whatever you're going to send them, unless it's an image, then create a PDF of that document. And there's lots of free apps that you can use, right? You can go to Google and type in Word to PDF, and the free app will just pop open and you'll upload your Word document and it'll save it to PDF, or you can just do it from the app itself. Okay, so far so good. Any questions about that? Again, just showing you a few other options. Next week, we're going to do the landing page, okay? Because we have to actually create the landing page.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to, oh, okay, hang on. I'm going to get rid of that. Select it and delete it. Okay, and really my email is ready to go. For now, I'll just save and exit. Sorry, I'll do one more thing. Just remind you, you go to the preview button and you can see your live merge, the information here. Yes. Okay, before you send it, you'll want to review this. And then if you want to, you can send a test message. I don't say if you want to, I say you always should. Okay, so I will send a message to myself. Okay, and once you've got that email address, why isn't it filling in? My autocomplete. Once you've got that filled in, you can hit the send test button and it's going to send. Now, see, we have file name here. Everyone sees that? That's a merge tag.
Right.
When we get the test message, it's not going to show the person's name like we saw in the live preview. In the live preview, I don't know if you noticed, but the first person's name was Rena or Renew. So it said, Dear Renew. When I go over to my Mailchimp, I mean, my Gmail account, let me just open that. Oh boy. Okay. Can everyone see that Gmail is opening on my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So when you see that Gmail opens, notice right here, it says test, happy family day, plus nominations are open today. Okay. When I click on it to open it, it says Dear Member. Dear Member is the default name that I've chosen to be in the first name field. If a person doesn't have a name entered, it's Dear Member. It is also Dear Member when testing. But when this goes out, it'll say Dear Monica, Dear Tovi, Dear Christine. Okay.
Yeah.
I usually try to throw their name somewhere else in the email. I usually try to put their name somewhere else in the email just to get their attention. Okay, and then I guess I should have left that thing in there for the test, but you saw it works the exact same way as in the preview. So what I would do as a tester is I will go through and make sure member is there. I will go down, I will test all of these. I would click on all of these links to make sure that they open up in the right, open up to the right pages. Does that make sense, everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will always just test real quick, just go through, test them. I look at it on my phone and on my desktop to see how I like them both. I usually just test on one though. I don't have to test on both. I just have to test on one, but I'll look on both. Okay, so far so good, everyone? Any questions? Okay, actually, this is ready to go to Xanthi for review. So I'm going to say send test message. I don't have her email address memorized. So Xanthi is the communications guru on our team. So this is real live happening in the moment. So I'm going to send that to Xanthi. Maybe she'll be able to review it and let me know, and then I'll be able to send it before we go. But next week for sure, when we talk about analytics, I will go and show you the analytics for this email that I'm creating right here in front of you. Okay. So for now, I'm just going to save and exit. And I'm not ready to send this right now, so I'll just click on finish later. So far, so good?
Yep.
Okay. One other quick thing I'll show you then is I'm going to click on the create button again. Actually, let me replicate this time just to make it easier. I'll replicate this one here. So instead of creating from the template, I'm creating from an old email. So you can see that all of the information is already in place, okay? The information is already there. You can go ahead and change the recipient. You see, this must have been a little test I did for you guys last week because I changed the recipient to just one person. It's probably just me. I'm going to click on the one recipient and I'll be able to see, yep, just to me. Okay, I'll leave it as that. Subject line, send time, all of this information is, let's just pretend this is the same. What I want to do is I want to click on edit design, take you in and just show you the pre-builts. So remember, this is replicated. So this is exactly what was sent before. So anything I don't want, I just delete. Okay, anything I don't want, I just delete. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the layouts tab. Okay, over here, we had the content tab with all the blocks, layouts tab, and then I'm just going to go ahead and drag and drop a layout, a 2-column layout into my email, the body. And then once I have the layouts in there, then I can go and drop what the placeholders are going to be. Okay. So again, if I want my layout to be image and text or 2 images, I just grab the pre-builts and drop them in. So let me just go here. And this is talking about upcoming meetings. Let me grab an image. I'm just grabbing an image from my hard drive, show you how the 2-column pre-built layouts work. I upload the image. That's the placeholder I want on the left. Okay, and then on the right, I told it I want a placeholder for text. Okay, I'm just going to go grab the text from the other document so I don't have to retype, just so you get the idea. Okay, image, text. These are pre-builts. Let me go back and show you that again. On the ad, it has 2 tabs, the content tab, the layout tab. I can click layouts and then I can go over here and choose the type of layout I want. I did 2 placeholders side by side and I put in text and image. You'll notice there are also text and image and text. So I go down, I'll drag the text and text in, and then I can put my information in place. Everybody okay with that so far? I'm just using the pre-builts. So remember we were talking like newsletters. This is kind of how newsletters look and feel, right, Kira? They have the headings, the columns. So you can certainly do that if you want. It's just a matter of clicking on layouts and then dragging and dropping the layout you want. When you drag and drop the layout, you can also tell it what should go into each box. Okay, so I drag images, more than one, whatever I want, however you want it to look. I just like to keep it clean, and I usually just do image, text, image, text. You can decide what you like. One of the warnings I'll give you about these pre-builts is that text or the pre-builts don't display like this on a phone. Displays column, image, text on your desktop, but on a phone, what you will get is the information one after the other. I'm just letting you know that, okay? And you'll find that as well when you begin your testing. Does that make sense, everyone, what I just said? I want to make sure when you use the pre-builts, They will appear like these samples on the desktop, but on the mobile, it changes it so it's, in this case, image, text, 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 one after the other, not beside. Am I making sense?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, just letting you know, just so when you're not surprised, but you will notice that, you will see that when you test it yourself. Okay, those are the pre-builds. So just another way to, you know, up level your content should you choose to do that. Any questions? So far, so good. And you know, it's a lot of playing, right? If you want, always go to preview. Look here, when I'm in preview, guys, see desktop version, click on mobile and see mobile version. Okay, cool. And remember, you got to give them lots of stuff to click on. Lots of stuff to click on. I'm going to send you a link to, I can't remember her last name, but Emily is a well-known Mailchimp trainer and strategist. She sends an email on Sundays. It's called Emily's Favorite 9 Things or something like that, or 9 Things, my favorite 9 things. And all it is a bulleted list of 9 items with 3 to 5 words and a link to whatever she says her favorite thing is. Some of her favorite things are her social media, her website, her training videos, and other things are to other people's content. New rules and regulations with regard to email, funny memes, things like that. I think I want you guys to check it out and subscribe to it, just so you can get a sense of there's no one way to do email marketing, right? You'll find the method that works for you and resonates with your audience. And at the beginning, you're going to need to test and play. And as Marianne said, it doesn't have to be complicated. Keep it simple, right? Okay, I'm just going to save and exit here. Oh, there's a question. Yes, yes, yes. I do too. I do too. Okay, so I'm going to finish this later. So that's a review on sending campaigns, testing campaigns, previewing campaigns, and using those additional features throughout your campaign, the body of your campaign. What I'd like to do now is just take you to contacts, to the contact table. Because as you start to send out emails and as you start to make people aware that you have these newsletters or bi-weekly or monthly emails, you're going to start to get new people on your list. And as people join your list, they may love it and be highly engaged, or they might think, not for me. Okay? So I'm taking you right now to the contact table. The contact table is just your contact list. It's just looks like a spreadsheet. It's containing rows and columns. Remember, we talked about this in week 1. But really what I want you to do when you get to your contact list is I want to show you or have you look at this field called contact rating and this field called email marketing. Under the email marketing field, it tells you the type of contact it is. Okay, so we have all these green, which are subscribed. If I look at these green, I can see that they have a contact rating of 2, which means they could be new, which they are, I know that, because they're at the top of the list. Okay, they're new or there's been a change in their content. New are 2 stars, but also low engagement. Okay, and then as I look down, I can see unsubscribed. So I want to point something out to you. Your unsubscribed email people still count towards your billing. So if I can make a recommendation to you, is that what you want to do is you want to select these people who are unsubscribed. When you select them, did you notice this bar changed? Let me deselect and show you again. Right now, it's filter, view, and new segment. When I select someone like Hilda, who is unsubscribed, I see the green bar, it's changed. It's letting me add or remove tags, but it's also allowing me to do a couple of other actions. And one of those actions is to archive. Okay. When you archive people who are unsubscribed, what that means is it moves your contact into a table, a separate table called the archive table. And you can always bring them back or they can resubscribe. When you archive them, it removes them from your list so you don't pay for them. And when you archive them, it retains or keeps the data in that archive table. Okay? So if someone says, please unsubscribe me, you can go in and do it. Hopefully they do it themselves. But if you click on a user, you can unsubscribe them. Okay? And you can archive them. I recommend that you look at your email marketing column. You can actually sort it. When I click on email marketing column, I can sort it. And I can see all of the subscribe or non-subscribe. Cleaned is another one you'll see there. Okay. You can click on your next button down here to view. So again, I'm just going through. I'm going to change that to 100. And it can help you see your subscribers or unsubscribers, and for unsubscribers, archive them. Okay, I'm sharing this with you because as you start to share your email or your newsletter, what's going to happen is that you are going to get people who may no longer be interested, and you don't want them counting towards your billing, especially if you're paying. Does that make sense?
Can you archive someone who has if someone says, Christine, I want to unsubscribe, and they don't want to do it themselves, can you just archive them automatically, or do you have to go through the unsubscribe and then archive?
Yeah, I would unsubscribe them and then archive them.
Okay.
Because you don't want to accidentally bring back that archive table and send something to them.
Okay.
Once they've asked you to unsubscribe them. So
okay.
Yeah, if they've asked you to unsubscribe, just unsubscribe and then archive them.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So again, the contact rating field, 1 star, 2 star, 3, 4, 5. I'll just point out something to you in the booklet that I sent. Where did the booklet go? In the booklet, I talk about the types of contacts. Okay. Subscribe contacts count towards your billing. Unsubscribe contacts, they don't count towards your billing, and they're also not going to get any information. You might see some that are non-subscribed. The non-subscribed people, typically what this means is they've joined something like an event or bought something from your website. And so they're on your list, but they haven't actually subscribed to your newsletter. So they're not going to get any emails, but they're going to get transactional. They're not going to get newsletter emails, but they're going to get transactional emails like, we've received your order, we've sent your order, how do you like your order? Does that make sense, everyone? But they're not going to get transaction, they're not going to get regular bi-weekly, whatever your cadence is for emails.
Are you being charged for those as well?
You're being charged for those.
Okay.
So I would invite them to subscribe. And then if they don't, then just put them in your archive folder.
Okay.
Cleaned, these are any hard or soft bounces. Hard or soft bounces mean wrong email address. Sometimes you wouldn't believe the number of people who sign up for things and get their email address incorrect. So every once in a while, I'll also go through and look at my list. And if I have 4 emails for Betty, I'm looking at them like, oh, she spelled her name wrong here. I will make sure to get rid of it. Okay. They, of course, don't count because you can't send them. Pending. Pending means that that you have double authentication set up. And there's 2 steps to double authentication. They sign up for your newsletter and the contact form, but then they have to go to the email and confirm. And so they signed up, but they didn't go to the email and confirm. So they'll get nothing and they don't count. Okay. And then of course, the people that we have archived, they're in an archive table. We have their data counts towards our analytics, but they'll receive nothing and they won't be charged. And then you have deleted contacts. These are people that you just permanently remove. And when you permanently remove them, you're wiping out all of their contact. And so it'll change your analytics. Okay, whether they have opened or closed or click rate, like that'll all be affected. So yeah, that's a little bit about the different contact types. I'm just going to take you back to actually, do I have stars on here or not? I can't remember. Let me just check. I do believe that I had put the star rating definitions, yeah, for you. Okay, so you can see the star ratings. All right. One, the recipient unsubscribed, resubscribed, or soft bounce. Soft bounces are a little different than hard bounces. Hard bounces means that it's incorrect email address. A soft bounce could be that you sent an email to them, but at this time they're not receiving it because maybe their email is full. Okay. 2, no engagement or a new contact, or they're dormant, they're not active. 3, low. 4, moderate. 5, high. So the idea is that we want to give them lots of things to click on. We want to give them lots of reasons to click, right? Because that'll increase the star rating. Okay. I'm going back to Mailchimp. I'm just going to show you that I've already explained that if you select a recipient here in the contact list, guys, you can go to actions and choose your actions to unsubscribe, to archive. And then if you click on the profile, the person, you click on the person, it'll open up their profile window and you can click edit and make editing changes. Okay, just a reminder, we can make editing changes. And then from within here, we can see when they open and close. We talked about this last week, or when they take action on an email. And then over here, there's 3 dots. And this is, again, options to unsubscribe or to remove, which means to delete. Okay, I'll just click on it and show you. You can move them to your archive. Again, I'll remind you, archive doesn't count toward billing. Archive keeps them in an archive table. Archive keeps their content and their actions in our analytics. Permanently delete, they're gone, they're wiped out. Now, for someone who you permanently delete, you can't get the data back. This person could subscribe again. Okay, it's not like they can never rejoin your mailing list. This person could subscribe again by using your sign up form. All right. Someone have a question? If there's multiple people that you want to get rid of, then you can select the multiple people and you can go to manage contacts. And then you can go from here to archive. There is an option that'll say then, do you want to permanently delete them? Okay. From the database. Okay. So use caution when you're deleting everyone or deleting people. That's why we have delete is kind of hidden. It's multiple layers in. Okay. So on your contact table, the contact table we're looking at, I'm going to point out to you that there is a filter by tags. Do you see the filter by tags?
Yeah.
Okay. So in our first week, we briefly talked about adding tags and I showed you how to add a tag. Once you've added tags to any member, even if it's just one tag, those tags appear in the drop-down list. And then you can filter out by tags. So if I wanted to filter out to see my steering team, I usually, because I have a long list, I usually start by typing the name of the tag, and then I can select the tag. And when I select the tag from the drop-down list, oh, must be the wrong one. When I select the tag from the drop-down list, then the people who match that, who have that tag applied, they appear in the list. So you notice it says goose egg, no contacts match your selection. So what I'm going to do is go over here and click on the X. So I'm clearing it. All my people come back. Now I must have, instead of calling it steering team, I called it steering team member. You see, I have 2 of them. I'll click on steering team member. And in this case, I have 1. 1 member who is tagged with steering team member. Let me close that. Now, if I want to apply a tag to someone, let's say Toby, welcome Toby to the steering team for 100 women. I'm going to click on the magnifying glass. Did you see the magnifying glass?
Yeah.
I'm going to click on the magnifying glass and I'm going to type in Toby's name to search for my contacts that contain Toby. Oh, it's funny. I don't see Toby in this database at all. This is the brand new database that I just set up for the team. Toby's not here. Okay. I'll have to fix that because Toby's not going to get any email, and that's not good. So let me go to another steering team member, Hilda, search for her. Okay, what's going on here? Sorry, guys, let me stop something for a second.
Christine, I have to be in the list because I've been getting the 100 women emails.
Yeah, hang on 1 second. And Hilda didn't pop up when I just had Hilda there. So I'm just going to refresh. Let me just refresh and see what's going on. So just so you know, Toby, the 100 women used to be a part of my contact list, my Mailchimp, but then we decided that we wanted to have multiple people to have access. So we purchased a paid account. And so I moved everything over. And yeah, this is weird. Something funny is going on right now because I know Hilda's in this list. Oh, okay, there, it shows up now. That was so weird. Stuff happens, guys. So Hilda, I typed in her name and she came up, and then I'm going to go ahead and click on view profile for this client or this contact. When I look at Hilda, I can see her information and look down here. These are all the places, her tags. These are all the tags she currently has. So I'm going to click on add a tag. And I'm going to look for steering team member. Or I'm going to type it in. And I'm going to click on steering team member. Okay, so now I can see the tags. So I've just added a tag for Hilda. I'll go back to my contacts. And then I'm looking at steering team members tags. See this here?
Yeah.
This tells me that a filter is applied. Hilda and Christine. When I'm done looking at that, I have options. I can export this list and it exports it to a CSV file. I can send this list a campaign. Or if I'm just looking at to see who's there, that's fine too. When I'm done, I can click X. Okay. So when people have tags applied to their account, their profile, you can sort by the tags. I'll click on 100 member and see that I have 126 in this database of 230. 126 are actual members. Okay, so that's how I can use that filter. And if I want to export the list, if I want to send a campaign, I can do that. For example, if I want to send a campaign to the 100 women, the 126 members, I just click that send a campaign, and then choose from the drop-down list an email campaign. Okay, love it when the monkey, the chimp is not cooperating. All contacts. You know, I was once teaching a Canva class and the screens Canva was working behind the scenes on updates literally changed in 5 minutes. They made a pretty significant update. Yeah, the screen changed right there in front of us during the class. Okay, let's try this again. I went back to all contacts. I chose to filter by the tag called 100 member. That tag I created has 126. I'm going to click on send campaign and click on an email campaign. Now you can even see, look at the other options that became available now. Okay, that's not the only way to do it. Sometimes this happens. Let me click back on the monkey head here to get back to the dashboard. If I want to send an email to anyone who has the tag steering team or 100 women or 100 member, whatever it is, I can go to another way, all campaigns, and I will choose from the drop-down list. Oh, something's going on with Mailchimp right now. They must be working on some updates. Okay. So if you want to send an email to a group of people that are tagged, you start the same way. Create, design email. And right here, right, 263, right here, where edit recipients, you would tap on that. And here in the send to drop down, you would scroll down to your tags. So let's say I choose steering team member. I always recommend you personalize your send to field with first name, last name. That's my preference. You decide what yours will be, but definitely choose one of those to personalize it. The steering team member list we just saw a minute ago was 2 recipients. It was Christine and Hilda. We see it says 2 here. If I click on that, I see the 2 recipients. Okay. Multiple ways of doing one thing inside Mailchimp. You can start by the contact list, filtering there and hitting the send campaign button, or you can go this way. Again, when you click on edit recipients, you can decide who you want, what segment you want. So if I say, 100 member this time. Let me see where it is. It should be at the top. So I have a lot of tags in here. I'll show you where you can go to clean up the tags. I like to keep my tags because it's a history that I have with these clients. There we go. 100 member, one of the first tags I created. So it's down at the bottom. Most recent will appear at the top of the list. So 100 member is the tag I selected. And there, remember we saw it just a minute ago, 126 recipients. Let me just show you, when you click on edit recipients, you can say send it to 100 members. Then there's this other field. This is pretty new. It says do not send to. And then let's say I'll say steering team members. So send it to everyone on 100 women, but don't send it to steering team. So remember, it was 126. So by excluding the 2, it should be 124. Now, you'll notice the 126 didn't update. That happens quite regularly. I see that it doesn't update. But no, Hilda and I are still on here. So it hasn't taken that in. We're having fun today with Mailchimp, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're having fun.
You would think they would do that in the middle of the night, not
Yeah.
during business hours.
Yeah, it's sometimes it can be. Oh, there you go. I just did it again and it worked. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I just went back, I chose the steering team, and now it's got the 124. All right. So funny. Okay, so that's how you can choose. You can apply filters and then you can choose who gets your email based on the filters you apply. But there's also another option. Let me click on edit recipients. There's something called segments where you can choose to apply filters and use and or. So let's say I want to find everyone, can't remember if I have city. I want to find everyone. I don't remember if their address contains Mississauga. Okay. So pretty much everyone's going to have a Mississauga address, but let's see what happens. So I'm choosing to send this email just to the people in Mississauga. Let me review the segment. So there was, oh, okay, interesting. 93 subscribers have, but that could also mean that people may not necessarily have their addresses in here. Okay, so 93 subscribers contain Mississauga. The others are different cities, or they might not have addresses in. So you can continue to segment, or you can segment on any of the fields inside your database. Let me click cancel here. Click back on the drop-down list. Go back to the top and choose a new segment. All right, let's see. Let me look at this. Can segment membership. Oh, this is different. This is different. Hang on. I'm just trying to see what would make sense for, okay, let's say I wanted to see all of the people that were referred by Christine. I can review the segment. And in the database, it'll tell me 3 people. Specifically put Christine in their segmentation or referred by field. Okay, so whatever fields you have in your database are the fields that you can segment by as well. So first I was showing you how to use the filters, and then the segmentation comes into place when you want to segment the information inside fields. Fields, the ones that you create, the ones that you've added, and the ones that you may have in your sign up form or on your landing page, because they're not always one and the same. We're going to talk about landing pages next week. Let me see. Look, you can also segment by Mailchimp fields. I chose the segment field called email engagement. And let's say I wanted to reward those people who engage often. Okay, so engagement type is new, rarely, sometimes, often. Let me see who is engaging often. I think, as I explained a moment ago, this email list is brand new. Like, although the list isn't new, this account for Mailchimp and the just started before you guys started this class. I brought it over from my account. So everybody came in as a 2 because they think it's new. Their star rating didn't come over when I uploaded them. Am I being clear? I want to explain why everybody else, so when you noticed engagement was a 2 because they're brand new.
How can you change that?
You can't. What will happen is the more I've only sent, I think, 2 emails since this new account was created. And the more emails that get sent out and the more that they engage by opening and clicking on the things inside the email, that's how that changes. The more the system captures the analytics of that audience member. Okay, so when you begin your new Mailchimp account, everyone you bring in is going to start in as a 2. And then as they open and click on things, they're going to go to 3 and 4 and 5. So that's what's happening with this database.
Okay.
So let me just show you. Let me click out of this account. Okay, this is the brand new. I'm going to go to my Christine Hall account. And in my Christine Hull account, I want you to know that I'm grandfathered in. I'm still using the free version, but I'm grandfathered into a lot of upgraded or paid features. So you can have one list, but look at all the lists I have. So when I originally created 100 women, I actually created them as a separate list here in my Mailchimp, in my account. So if I go to that list, okay, so I've gone to that list and I click on audience, all contacts. When I go to the contact table, take a look here. Tovi's right at the top of my contact table in 100 women list on the old account. Okay, guys, look at Tovi's rating, 5-star. Xanthi, 5-star, right? Catherine, 5-star. Louise. All of these people, though, in that when I uploaded them into the paid version that the actual team owns, not me, they're all 2 stars. But here is all my 5 stars, my highly engaged people. So if I was to do, you can do segmentation from here. If I was to create a new segment and choose email engagement, what did I say? Often?
Yeah.
Sorry, I got to move this window out of the way and click preview segment. I have 108 that are often. Okay.
Yeah.
Which makes me feel so much better.
Of course.
So just so you're aware that history didn't go over. I thought it actually did go over, but that's okay. As we begin sending more email out, as they begin clicking on RSVPs and clicking on nominate button, so on and so forth, we'll see those stars increase. So this is a good, it's a small, guys, 226 is a small but mighty mailing list.
Yes.
And we don't really have people join the mailing list. It's really for members, right? And anyone who might sign up to info sessions. But because that's what we primarily use it for, is communication to our members. But we have a very good, often, this is almost 50% have a high 5-star rating. So yay to the steering team. Okay. And let's see if it'll work here. Remember a few minutes ago, I tried to show you how you could segment and filter and then click on send campaign. Let's see here. If Mailchimp, the monkey, has ironed out his wrinkles. There we go. I segmented based on a field in the database or based on one of the predetermined fields. I click on send campaign. Here are the 108. And then, like I did earlier, I'm just going to go down the list and enter all the information. So far, so good?
Yeah.
Okay. So segmentation, I'm just going to remind you, segmentation is based on the fields in the database. Filtering is based on those tags that you've created. So let me just go back here for a second and show you. To get to the fields you have created, you're going to use your sign up form. And you're going to go to form builder. We did this in week 1. So for some of you who've already set up your form, you might think I never have to go back there, but you will be going back there. Maybe not often, but could be quite regularly, especially if you're using landing pages. Okay. So your form allows you to add in these fields. The fields, once they're on the form, are what you can segment, pick and choose. Of my 226 people, I just want to send an email to the Mississauga people. Of my 226 people, I just want to send an email to the people who are referred by Christine, right? Whatever the fields are here. Of my 226 people, I just want to see everyone who's RSVP'd for November 8th. Okay, these are fields that we've created and added, and then we can segment on them. Now, I'm going to go back to audience dashboard. Actually, don't need to go to audience dashboard, but at the audience dashboard, I can see a section here called tags. And I can see the members. I can see 98 tagged Giving Circle, 85 tagged with March Giving Circle, 83 tagged with April launch. Do you see that? All of the tags?
Yeah.
But I can also go to the section called tags. And then I can create tags. I can delete tags if they're no longer needed. Okay. And I can also view the people that have those tags. So this is something that you create, that you set up, and that you assign someone. Tags can also be assigned when people sign up for landing pages, which we're going to show you next week. So as we've been going through Mailchimp and this training, every week builds on the next, builds on the next, builds on the next.
Yeah.
Next week, now that you've sent out campaigns, hopefully you've got your, hopefully you've created your account, you've uploaded your lists, you've created your sign up form, you've got some people signed up, and that you've sent out a couple of emails. Because next week we talk about reading the reports, the analytics, and we show you how to create landing pages, which is based on, these tags that we have. So lots of building blocks here from one week to the next. Again, anytime you can look at the information for anyone who's been tagged with whatever tags you create. I just clicked on the fall meet and greet and I see 23 contacts. Okay. So at first you might create your Mailchimp database and you might just be sending to everyone. But as you get more information from people, as you get more intimate and knowing them and they know you, you might be tagging them with different options, like the clients they are, the products they buy, the things they're interested in. And that would help you target your email marketing. Because when you target, you get a much higher open rate and click rate. Because those people want to see what you have to say, right? You're sending them specific information on the topic they have told you they want to learn more about, or the products they want to learn more about. I hope that makes sense.
Would you create a tag for a newsletter? Say,
You could. Yep.
That they've received the, March newsletter or whatever. Would that make sense, or would that just come under campaigns?
Yeah, that's going to come under campaigns. Like when you send the March newsletter out, you're going to be able to see, for example, let me just share my screen again. That's kind of an automatic thing that happens. So let me go to the mob. I sent out a weekly mob I don't call it a newsletter, but yeah, we refer to it as a newsletter. Laura and I say newsletter. Laura sets it all up and I go in and put the finishing touches on it and send it. So if you look here, can you see this first email that I'm looking at?
Yeah.
This email was sent, it was see you in 10 minutes. I sent that at 10 to 10 today, right? I can see 4 people opened it, 3 clicked on it. So 3 of you actually clicked on the Zoom link from inside, right?
Yeah.
And then I'll just scroll down a second. Looking here at, okay, so we had a lunch and learn with 17 registrants. And I can see here when I sent out the recording, okay, 16 people opened it, 3 people clicked on it.
Right.
Okay. Another example, February 12th. Was that this week? Yeah, that was this week. So February.
Yeah, it was Monday.
Yeah, so on February 12th, I sent out an email, discover February's exciting in-person and online events. Okay. I sent that email to 950 people, 951, and 467 opened it and 18 clicks. Okay. So
Right.
just as an example, let me go back up here to the Mailchimp, the see you in 10 minutes. See this button here, report, view report?
Yeah.
I can actually see who opened it without having to create a whole new filter and track that. I just go to the specific campaign. And when the campaign opens, I can see it was sent to 5 people, 5 recipients. Anytime you see a word or a number in teal, that's a hyperlink. So you can click on that and get more information. So I can see 4 opened it and 3 clicked, right? And then if I click on the 4, the number 4, it's going to show me that Puvi, Monica, Hira, and Prince, all 4 of you opened it. Okay, let me just click on the back button and then I'll be able to tell you who clicked on the link. So here I see 4 of you opened it and then there is 3 clicks. So I can tell that the link was clicked on. And somebody also clicked on the booklet. And if I want to see who these are, I can go one step further. And I can click on the Zoom link where it says 2. And I can see that Prince and Hira joined clicked on the link to the Zoom from the email itself. So do you see how there's a lot of information inside here?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I can see who opened the book or clicked on the booklet anyway. Okay, Toby clicked on the booklet. Okay.
Which is kind of weird because I actually did that as well.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then let me go back one even further to the first page. One thing that I like to do is, so as we scroll down here, we see successful deliveries, total opens, clicks per unique open, 75%. Because what that means is that, you know, Toby could have clicked on the link 5 times, but that's not unique, right?
Right.
That's not unique. So they keep track of that. And then if I scroll down, this is what I like to look at. I'm a very visual person. I like to see pictures. Yeah. So this campaign that I sent out just went to 5 people. The open rate of the campaign is 80%. The click rate is 72%. And the unsubscribed for my peers is 40%. So you can click on, you can see how you compare to your peers based on when you created your Mailchimp account, you chose categories or industries. So that's what it's using to base this information. So this is very high.
Yeah.
Okay. But because it's very high because it was targeted. It was only to 5 people who specifically requested or wanted that information, right? Which is very good. You're kind of laughing a little bit, Monica, but that's very good because what it does is it brings up the overall health of the account. So let me give you another example. I'm going to take you back one to that email, the weekly email that I send to everyone. There's no targeting in that one, okay? The weekly email I send to everyone, there's no targeting. So check at this. It has, out of 951 who received it, only half of them, 467, opened it. And you might think, oh, that's terrible. Actually, no, that's great. But so when you click on view report, I'm getting into next week's topic, sorry. But I just to answer your question earlier, but you don't need to create tags for who opened it. It's all there for you. Take a look here. Again, I love looking at this graph. So of that report, almost 50% opened it, which is awesome. And my peers performance is 40. So I'm doing 10% better.
Yes.
And the click rate is, or my average campaign, sorry, is 72. My average campaign is 72 is also high. It's because I send very targeted emails, like the one I sent you, the 5 of you, and got 80%. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You want to send, sometimes you're going to send to everyone, but then other times you want to make sure you're sending targeted too, because that brings up your averages. Okay, let's look at how this campaign did. This campaign for click rate, I only got 1.9% click rate. My peers are 7.8. Woo, bad. Right?
Yeah.
I got to work on getting more content in there for them to click on. My average is 25, which is, again, very decent compared to what my peers' average is, right? So that campaign I sent out on Thursday was just about the couple of, or Monday was just about the upcoming events. So that could be it. And unsubscribes. Okay, again, when you look at this, you see that the industry average is 0.4. This was 0.1 and my average is 0.1. So you can eyeball this stuff and see how you're doing.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll go into more details next week, but I wanted to just answer the question with some graphical information. I hope that was okay.
Yeah. No, that's great. So I was at an event on Monday, and
Is it
one
okay
of
if
the
I just stop the recording before we?
yes.
Okay. All right. So let me just stop the recording and then